viva, viva, dis-toi viva. Viva. Yo. Down. We try to set them down. Down. What's hunting down? Yo. Dis-toi, yo. Dis-toi, yo. Manda. Wait, Manda.
C'est quoi? Transparent independent justice. Abbas. Which bunting? Abbas. Let me say thanks to the Almighty God. First thanks belongs to our Almighty God for bringing me back to my country, and today for bringing me back to the purposes of my revolutionary home. Next to thanking God, let me thank you, the revolutionary stalwarts. You have sustained this revolution that we began since 2004 to 2005. As a founding ideologue of the Congress of Democratic Change, I was in the trenches at the formative stages of this movement. From the conception of the idea of a popular people's movement, heralded by a generational icon, George Manuel Weah, to the crucibles of electoral losses over the last 15 years, to the ascendancy of this movement to political power, to the propagandist dethronement of this movement, and to the emergence of this movement in 2029, Deepware will be a revolutionary You the revolutionary stalwarts, you the men and women who have slept on these campuses, on these premises, all over throughout the country, who have dedicated your lives, we owe you a revolutionary humongous salute. Let me say to you, and this is only the beginning of the CDC. The end of the CDC cannot be imagined. It's only the beginning. So, I will use today, I have the opportunity to appear on National Radio on Monday. Today I will perform my remarks to inspiring us, musicians, to beckoning us toward the height of unity within the party, to thanking all of you who have withstood the test of time, members of the National Executive Committee of this party over the last 6 years, members of the National Youth Revolutionary Youth League of the party, current, past, and current leadership, the illustrious Secretary General Revolutionary Jefferson Tamakoji, who has been under our tutelage for more than 2 decades. former controller, the Captain General of the Republic of Liberia, members, all of you, thank you. The Women League, the maintenance board, where's the maintenance crew? Also maintain these premises, all of you, we salute you. We are politically relevant because of you. We owe you an enormous debt of gratitude. We are feared because of you. And fear is the word noted. CDC is fear. In the political arena of the Republic of Liberia. Lost an election. I'm not going to the reasons why. We know why. But it's a thinnest, the silliness of electoral margin ever in the history of election. Less than 1 SKD. The capacity of SKD is 20,000. 70,000 people. Less than the full capacity. Separate us from power today. Separate the unity party. So no party in this country has legitimate mandate overriding to witch hunt a powerful movement like the CDC. You do so at your own peril. Let's call this for tomorrow. So yeah.
I got to go Monday.
On tomorrow, we will show the Liberian people that the 6 years of the CDC administration were productive, constructive 6 years of improved governance. We don't need to show them because you already know it now. George, we have told this country after O'Neill's departure. The free flows that were happening here were not happening after 2018. More than 200 million to 250 million were freely flowing in this country to support our macro economy. The Unity Party government at that time depended on that. NGOs were all over the country giving jobs because of our crisis situation, not because of any particular innovation or productivity of the Unity Party. All of that ended with the ascendancy of George Weah and with the decline of international aid. Because economic conditions became tough in the first year and a half, the propaganda seized on the reader, and because George Weah was the first social media president, the first president who was subjected to the whims, the caprices, and the vagaries of social media in the history of Liberia, people took advantage, and because of the gullibility and the fact that our many of our people are not sophisticated, they used the combination of propaganda to barrage the Liberian people that it is George Weah who is causing hardship in the country, who caused the NGOs to leave this country, who caused investments not to come, investors to leave. You put CDC in power, you made a mistake. This is what has haunted us up to this day.
So true.
And so there is that same minority of Liberians, maybe 30,000, maybe 50,000. Some of them in Bond County, they lost the NGO jobs. Some of them lost their jobs in 2016. They have now been able to find work. These people say, listen, I had work when Unity Party was in power. All that explanation you gave me about unmade, I don't believe it. I want to see when they come back to power whether I will have my work. If I don't have my work, then maybe you are right. God said, listen, George, we have stepped down. Let these people be the Since you are the first 6 years after O'Neill, all the development you have done in record time, all the macroeconomy you have stabilized, there are still people who believe that something could be better if you were not in power and that you are responsible for their hardship. I want you to step down. They will take the second 6 years, and the Liberian people will look at the first 6 years and the second 6 years and say, we wrongfully, disappointingly rejected CDC for nothing. Because everything CDC did in the 6 years was honesty. The government, the president told us the truth. The Unity Party campaigned with rhetoric and lied to us. And now in 9 months they are not able to deliver on the lies. The veteran Isaac Doe always says on school, you can lie your way to power, but you cannot lie your way to government. So on Monday, we'll tell the Liberian people and the international community about the statistics in 9 months of the CDC administration. At this time, the community was full figures. At this time, we're preparing to launch our development plan. They are still looking for consultants to write the development plan. You can see clearly. Let me tell you, they do not have the capacity to deliver in this country.
No way! No way!
Because you see, we are the masters of the post-unmail economy. We understand, CDC, technocrats, understand what it takes to take a country without unmail all international people, to use domestic revenue, to raise domestic revenue by 3% of GDP, by more than $150 million. When domestic revenue was so low, we as the government, we were the ones who understand all of that. When the Liberian people move us from power, you are bringing in technocrats who do not understand how to work for their own money. Technocrats who depend on international flows. It will take them 3 years to understand what we already understand. Because to distract from all of this, they go into a witch hunting to see the arrest, illegal and illegitimate arrest of government officials. Let me tell you, if I do wrong, I want to be arrested legally. I want to be arrested legitimately. I'm not afraid of justice if I do wrong. I love my country. I will not flee justice. No. That is if I do wrong. But what they're trying to do is to know that I haven't done wrong. What they're interested in is not my prosecution. What they're interested in is an imagery, an optical imagery of Samuel Boy in Hancock to present to their base and say, we told you we're going to fight corruption. We got that man who you have been targeting for the fake of for the fake 16 billion, for all kinds of lies on him. We found that guy in Hancock. Even though we're not able to win a case against him, at least you can run on social media with a Hancock, and that is our victory. So I hear people say they wanted to arrest, they should have arrested me. Let me tell you, the moment I arrived on RIA, I was prepared to present myself to Hancock because that would have been an illegal, illegitimate arrest. What I'm afraid of, I told you, is not legal arrest. It's illegal arrest. If I show to the Liberian people that I'm only being arrested for optical reasons, the Liberian people will believe that my whole case is a politically brutal case. But if I'm arrested legally, I don't have an argument against the Liberian people. When I come to justice and you arrest me, you are wrong. When I flee justice, you arrest me, you are wrong. How can I come into my country on my way to the justice, on my way to court, and you think you're trying to put police people to just show picture and you can arrest me? Is that what the fight against corruption is going to be about now? Are those the optical shenanigans that we're going to play with the Liberian people? The honeymoon period in any new government is over by 5 months, 6 months. Any new government that will show visible signs of progress in the country will be known after 6 months. And because George Weah was known after 6 months, roads were being constructed. Salary ethics online.
No way.
Lies destroy the CDC. And so it is very good that we lost election. But let me tell you, it's a teachable moment for the Liberian people. This loss of election that we had, it was better that we lost it so that Liberians can see what was coming. Because let me tell you, if we had won this election, there were Liberians who were still never ever going to be convinced that we were not the ones that we were the ones who were caused. Now they are convinced because no Liberian who lost an NGO job is going to get it. He has gotten it. No Liberian salary that was lied to said they will raise your salary, they will reverse harmonization, whatever that thing means, which doesn't make sense. I will explain it on Monday. Liberian people. No salary has gone up. In fact, let me tell you, the president put right here at the CDC office, we signed an agreement with the health workers before we left office. We announced it, and the president launched it, and he spoke about it. We put about $8 million in the budget to raise the salary of health workers. That money was taken out. If George Weah were president today, the salary of health workers would have been up by about $8 million. Well, listen to that. The salary is not up yet. And yet they are preparing protests and protests. We say these things to you people, and they're not listening. For those of you
All right, guys. Hello there to every one of you guys. If you can hear me there, hello there, guys. Hello. All right, guys. Hello there. All right, I think I'm very clear here now. I can hear myself here. So hello there. Good evening to everyone. This is J Randy here. We are back here again. So let me just try to adjust this thing here for you guys. Excuse me there. So guys, hello to every one of you guys. And thank you so much for joining me here. It's always a pleasure to have you guys in my midst, in my conversation here. So thank you guys so much. Let me see. I think got too many lights on here, but I'll try to manage it a little bit here. So thank you guys so much. As always, we have on our channel. Oh my goodness, I forgot to do something here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, wait for me there for a second. Let me try to catch the other people on the other side because I want to do my broadcast all over the place here. Yeah, let me do my broadcast all over the place here. I would like to do my broadcast all over the place because I want to be greeted. Yes, I want to be greeted. So let me try to be greeted here. I would like to be greeted. Let me try to be greeted here. Yes. All right. So we're going to go 2 ways again. I love the 2 ways broadcast. So we're going to go 2 ways. So let me do the 2 ways broadcast because I like to be greeted. So let me try to be greeted here. Let me see. I need to move this from here. Yeah, let me move this from here and pass this over here. If you're on the channel here, you can stay right here. Don't move. If you're on the channel, just stay right here. Don't move. All right. If you're on the channel, I advise that you stay right here. Do not move. If you're on the channel here, do not move. If you're on the channel, do not move. Stay here. All right. If you are watching me here, stay here. You don't have to move. I'm just trying to do something here. So if you're on this channel, don't move. Just stay here. Do not move. I'm just trying to get to other people on the other side. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. Tonight, we're going to be analyzing video. So you just saw the first video, and they are not long videos. They are very short videos. I just want to make sure that you and I, have a very good day today in analyzing the video here. All right. Okay. So let's see here. All right. Let me see here. I need to, okay, this one speaker is low. So please don't leave from here. Stay right here. Don't leave. All right. Don't leave. Stay right here. You'll be getting pop up on the other channel. Don't leave. Just stay there. All right. Because I'm going to be broadcasting on the other side here. So you're going to be seeing me right here. If you want to see the video, you stay right here. All right. Those of you that just want to hear my voice and see me, but don't see the action, I encourage you to stay right here. So I'm about to set the thing up. So those of you start getting it on the other side, but just stay right here if you want to see the video, okay? All right, so I think we are all set to go, and we will be starting the video over. Let me make sure I get all my stuff here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys again for joining me here. As always, it's always a pleasure to have you guys in my midst. We got a lot of ground to cover tonight. Tomorrow morning, I will not be broadcasting tomorrow morning because I have other stuff to do. But we will try to be back in the afternoon because tomorrow is Sunday. So I will try to be back maybe between 6 to 7 so that the people in Morovia can get to listen to our analysis. I do want to appreciate everybody today who gave me a call and always word of encouragement. I would like to say thank you guys so much for that great recognition, and thank you guys for everything that you continue to do, and may God continue to bless you guys. I think I need to bring this thing down. Let me reduce it so you guys can see me better, right? Yeah, I think you guys should be able to see me better here now. Yes, better here. It should be better this way. All right, yeah, so let me just position myself. I think it should be better this way now. Yes, all right. All right, so where is my pen? Where is my pen? I don't see my pen here. I don't see my bottle of water here. Let me see where I can get something here to take note. All right. So make sure you get your pen too. I want you to get your pen. We are going to listen to Mr. Twer, and we're going to determine whether what Mr. Twer said is true or not. So get your pen and let's get into that. All right. So ready for that? Let's go. So welcome, guys. We are going to go back to Mr. Twer. We're going to listen to Mr. Twer. All right, let's go back to Mr. Twer. We're going to go listen to Mr. Twer. Today, I wrote something, and I want Liberians to understand. Our country is growing, and it's growing very fast. All right, our country is growing, and we are growing very fast. And one of the ways that we can show to people that we are growing fast is for us to be able to understand the due process of law. Oftentimes, people will just look at someone in Liberia and say, hey, the guy is corrupt, this man is this. And, we cannot live like that. So I'm going live on the other side. Stay right here. Don't move. Stay right here. Don't move. There are other people going to be watching here. Don't move. Stay right here. All right? Don't move. All right? This one here. Don't move. This one is going live now. Don't move. Stay here. All right? Don't move. Stay here. Y'all got to get into that habit. Don't move. Stay here. All right? Okay. All right. So, Mr. Twer has been allegedly accused by the government. It is in no way, shape, or form that he is guilty. He has to go to court, or let's say he has to come and face the judge, and he will be asked by his counsel, are you guilty about what the people accusing you about? And Mr. Twer will say, no, I'm not guilty. And then he will be taken to the court for appearance, which he's already did. And then when he appears, his counsel going to tell the judge that he is not guilty. And the judge will say, okay, in order to give her assurance that you will not run away, you have to put some money down. And of course, he put that and a heavy amount of money down. He want that money back so he cannot run away. And more besides, he has any traveling documents, maybe they will take the document away from him as well. Yes, all right? So that way he can stay in the country. So what I'm trying to say here is this. Let us not get into the habit of finding people guilty when the court itself is still going through due process. These are some of the fundamental civic education that we need to understand to make ourselves to be responsible citizens in our country. I'm not here to back CDC. I'm not here to support CDC. But before you call anybody a criminal, they got to go through the due process. Like in the case of Senator Witherspoon. 1.5 years ago in January, Mr. Witherspoon was found guilty. I mean, he was indicted by a grand jury. He came on air and said he was not guilty. He ended up going to meet his counsel. And then they went to his appearance. And then, of course, his counsel said that he was not guilty. And then they went through the trial. And Mr. Witherspoon was found guilty. And he had been sentenced. So with that due process out of the way and the final decision from the judge came out and said he's guilty based on wire fraud, then of course he can be considered as someone who is a criminal. So we have to differentiate the two. I understand, Liberian, you guys are very emotional, but you need to understand that you guys are not just alone in our country. You guys are among people from other countries that respect the rule of law and that understand the rule of law. All right? So when somebody is allegedly accused of something, there has to be enough evidence and proof by the prosecutor, or let me just say the prosecutor. All right? I don't want to be more offensive with the words. And the prosecuting team will have to build the evidence against their case to convict. At the same time, the defense counsel will have to counter to say, well, the evidence you guys have make no sense. It will no water. Let my client go. In the midst of those two people going back and here forward, that is why we call it trial time. They're going to go through a trial. All right. So until then, we cannot just say the man is a criminal, the man stays. That is not the right way to do things. All right. So with that being said, I would like us to now go back and listen to Mr. Tuer. Mr. Tuer came out with some political statement today, and from the decks of J. Randy, the Free Voice. I would like to have that conversation, and I want to say stick and stay here. Those of you watching me on the channel right now, you will be able to see the video. Those of you watching me here, I'm pointing right here. You want to be able to hear the guys talking. If you want to switch in between, that's fine, but we are broadcasting on all channels tonight. So let's go back to the video. All right. I'm going to reduce my size because I want us to make sure that we clearly understand what Mr. Tuer is about to say. All right. So let's get in there. All right. So let's get in there. And I'm going to do something quickly here. All right. Let's do something quickly here. All right. So let's do this here. So you're going to see me way down in the corner here. And then we're going to make Mr. Tuer very big. And then we're going to listen to Mr. Tuer again. Again, this time around, we're going to stop, play, and listen to him. We're going to analyze what he's saying, whether that makes sense or not.
Viva, 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 dis-toi, viva! Viva! Yo, yo, yo! Down, 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 down! We try to set them down! Down, 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 down! What's wanting down? Yo! Dis-toi, yo, yo! Yo! Dis-toi, yo, yo! Manda! Watu! Manda! Manda! Manda!
Transparent, independent justice. Abbas. Which party? Abbas. Let me say thanks to the Almighty God. First thanks belongs to our Almighty God for bringing me back to my country, and today for bringing me back to the purposes of my revolutionary home. Next to thanking God, let me thank you, the revolutionary stalwarts. You have sustained this revolution that we began since 2004 to 2005. As a founding ideologue of the Congress of Democratic Change, I was in the trenches at the formative stages of this movement.
All right, so guys, let's begin the the analysis of what Mr. Tuet is saying here. So I'm going to bring myself back up here so that we can go through the analysis part here. All right, let me see here. Okay, right here. So I don't know what Mr. Tuet is trying to insinuate here. All right, but to me, going back into history about the political party foundation, to me, it is something that should be obsolete now. It needs to be archived. And CDC is now the opposition, the major opposition party. So coming out and trying to clearly state who he is, how the party started, to me is just trying to customize things for himself. All right, he listened to me. I know he might want to disagree with me, but we have to move on. And as a country and people and leader of the political party, most especially the former government officials, I don't think it is necessary at this time for Mr. Tuet to come and be telling you, oh, we were in the trenches, we did this. Yes, we know that, we heard that, we've been there, we done that. You all came to power 6 years, everything you guys fought for, the Liberian people gave you the opportunity and you guys did not deliver. What I think the Liberian people need to hear now is what is going on in the country, how people are perceiving the former government official, what are they doing, why are they doing this thing, and what are you guys doing to correct the problem? And then number two, why did the CDC lose power? What is the party doing to correct those mistakes? When you meet the young people, those are things that you need to bring to their mind because they are looking forward to 2029 or 2028. And the last thing they want to hear is for you to come and be telling them stories about, oh, how you were in the vanguard. No, those things are over now. Being a pioneer or something is different now from being a player in the game now. So with that, I differ with Mr. Tuet. I think that is wrong at this time to talk about the history. You already made history. The foundation of the party has led to the Liberian people of giving CDC the power. Now, CDC need to be able to look forward to new strategies, new motivation through planning and process. All right, so let's continue here, folks.
From the
conception of the idea of a popular people's movement, heralded by a generational icon, George Manuel, we are to the crucibles of electoral losses over the last 15 years, to the ascendancy of this movement to political power, to the propagandist detriment of this movement, and to the emergence of this movement in 2029, Deepwell will be a revolutionary You, the revolutionary stalwarts, you, the men and women who have slept on these campuses, on these premises, all over throughout the country, who have dedicated your lives, we owe you a revolutionary humongous salute. Let me say to you, and this is only the beginning of the CDC. The end of the CDC cannot be imagined. It's only the beginning. So, I will use today, I have the opportunity to appear on national radio on Monday. Today I will perform my remarks to inspiring us, Christians, to beckoning us toward the height of unity within the party, to thanking all of you who have withstood the test of time, members of the National Executive Committee of this party over the last 6 years, members of the National Youth Revolutionary Youth League of the party, current, past, and current leadership, the illustrious Secretary General Revolutionary Jefferson Tamakoji, who has been under our tutelage for more than 2 decades.
All right, guys. So this is my take here. As far as these guys go, all right. I understand, Sedition, that you guys love your official. I understand that you guys are committed to the party, but this situation the party find itself in is different now. You guys are not opposition that had not seen power before. You guys have seen power now. So the way you need to conduct yourself now is to always think about strategy, is to always accept and own mistakes. I know it is going to be a tough pill to swallow about what I'm about to say, but come on, guys, the party is a big party. There are many basic partisans, there are many intermediate partisans, and there are senior member partisans, and they are in different shape and form. You listen to Minister Toure commending Jefferson Koji. There's nothing wrong with commending Jefferson Koji. But Mr. Toure himself, former Mayor Koji, the guy has served in various positions of the party, and just recently they served in other official capacity. However, if we want to put a face to the public and our partner that we consider to be diplomatic partners, the discipline of every partisan citizen in the country should be respected. What do I mean by that? If you are sanctioned, you need to take responsibility of your sanction. You need to understand the extent of that sanction, what it plays on you and on your party. Having said that, I am not a fan of seeing Jefferson Koji taking a mic and discussing all the time. Today, Mr. Toure spoke. Is he going to continue to be in the front of the party? If he start doing something like that, I will come here too and say, Sedition, you need to tell Mr. Toure to step aside. Because there's no way a CDC having to come back to power that these guys can be giving international position where they will have to work with international partner out there. They will not do that. You guys will remember when the Prince Johnson, Senator Nima Kante were put on the Armed Services Committee, and the U.S. said, no, we don't want that man, including the U.S. allies. So Prince Johnson had to step down. It's the same exact things that these guys find themselves in today. These guys that have been sanctioned. They need to start to promote the younger faces in the party. From now to 2028, it is a very long period of time. If they start to process things and structure things properly, the young guys, we see the leg of Avin Wise, Mama C. Kaba, these young people know how to articulate the issue. Let them not continue to grandfather themselves. Because Jefferson Koji then see themselves as people who been in the party, like as they often say, we are the revolutionary people, we fought in the trenches. We got that. But that's not how the world see you guys. The world expectation of you guys, one is to respect the rule of law. The world expectation is to accept accountability and hold yourself responsible for mistake. And then the world also believe that you can grow new faces in your party to take shape. If those things are not considered by CDC, it will be very impossible for CDC to win power, because people will undermine their ability of not making any changes. Again, I'm saying it here again. By God's grace, when we get to 2026, 27, the video, I will come back with it again and say, I told you guys, because y'all know I always tell you guys. So let me just remind you guys again. We did it with Stanton Witherspoon. We did it with Thomas Fala. We did it with Darius Dillon. We did it for the recent election. And I'm doing it today again with these sanctioned guys again. The question here is, are you guys going to listen to me? Or are you guys going to say no? All I can do here is to give you guys the open advices. It's up to you guys to take it or bear the consequences of your non-compliance to good advices. So I like to leave it with you guys. And and that's what we do. And we are professional people, we provide advices. So I'm saying Jefferson Koji, Nathaniel McGill, Samuel Toure, and of course Bill Tuawe. These guys need to be in the back. There's nothing that I say that they should lead the party. No. They need to be in the back. They were one time on the field. They were on the center stage. They did their thing. But the way they perform, people getting thumbs down. So it's time for them to go in the back and see what they can do. If they get lucky and things works for them, then they can come by and say, look, I need second chance. I did my time because of the allegation. I went through X, Y, and Z. I'm back because I'm free. Then we can start to bring them. But in the meantime, we need to start to show new faces in the party that will be the spokespeople for the party. What it will send to the people is, these guys are young generation of people, but guess what? They understand accountability. They understand what it means to do something wrong and own our responsibility and own our problem. If they start to see that in the CDC structure, that when somebody does wrong, they will take them out and put somebody new. They will say the party is meant to improve and is meant to stay. They are running institution. They are now worshiping men and women here. I got it. Some of you guys will not listen because that's how you guys were brought up. But what I'm trying to induce into the conversation on my platform, we in America here, many of you, us who hold BB position, you go to a meeting, you're wrong, you raise your hand and say, hey, I take full responsibility for what I did. I'm sorry. I'm going to fix it. And I'm going to put together an action plan that will begin to fix the problem. Right there, all your colleagues then, they know you recognize your mistake and you're going to fix it. I understand that Liberians, many of us have never been taught this way. Even when we live in the diaspora, we are not being taught that way because many people are not fortunate to be at a certain level to understand these things. And that is why I'm bringing it forward here. Those who have done it and those who are doing it, thank you for doing that. However, there are some people in your midst that don't understand these things. And we have to fill in that gap by educating them. You can make mistake, you can own a mistake. It is good to make mistake because you will learn from that mistake if you are willing to improve. The only time you will not learn from that mistake unless, one, you don't own that mistake. 2, you're not willing to accept responsibility. 3, you're not willing to learn from your past and move forward. That's the only way you will not improve. But these things are bound to happen. Soccer team, football game, they play today, the team lose, the team accept their defeat. They walk all the feet, they shake hands with the red, they shake hands with the friend. They go out, they sit and say, yeah, God, we lost. But how can we win the next time? We understand that we own ourselves. Every member on the team, we did our best. However, there was some problem in the game and we lost. So how can we make ourselves better? Well, we got to go into more training. We got to start to strategize. We got to tighten the spot that we're loose end. We got to make sure our T's and R's are all in place. Let's go and try it for the next time. And then you start to see success. So these are things that I'm bringing up to you guys. I know you guys from the CDC part of your love to idolize these guys, but this is not just a closed thing now for you guys. This is an open loop now. CDC has served into different positions. As you listen to Samuel Toy telling you about some of the experiences that he gained over the last 6 years. So let's get back to him and listen to him again.
Former Controller of the Captain General of the Republic of Liberia, members, all of you, thank you. For the Women League, the maintenance board, where's the maintenance crew? And also maintain these premises, all of you, we salute you. We are politically relevant because of you. We owe you an enormous debt of gratitude. We are feared because of you. And fear is the word noted. CDC is feared. In the political arena of the Republic of Liberia. We lost an election. I'm not going to the reasons why. We know why. But it's the slimmest of electoral margin ever in the history.
I think Mr. Toy is wrong. All right. And this is where I would say these are critical areas that really need to be given attention. You listen to Mr. Toy. We lost the election. Well, I don't want to get into the detail. You see, those kind of precise mindset is something that I call building a visual map in your head. What Mr. Toy is doing, he's building a visual map in his head. Well, this is my map here. I'm going to go here. I'm not going to go there. No. You and I know when you get defeated, you have to understand. You need to know why you got defeated and how you can improve yourself. He just said, we lost the election, but I'm not going to go into detail. No. I want to know. Because getting to know why you lost the election will show you how to win the election. So is he just creating a visual map in his head or in his mind? Because there are times that if we don't put things to paper, we create that visual map in our mind. And then as we speak, we're looking at that map and say, okay, this is where we're going to step. We're not going to step here. But I'm here to police that. I'm here to stop that. So I think Mr. Toy need to think about answering the reason why they fail to educate the people. Because if you don't educate the people, they're going to go right back in that same failure direction and they're going to fail again. It happened to Child Walker Brunskin. He lost so many times. It happened to Mr. Trump. He lost also too. So when I say Child Walker Brunsky, he ran several times like other politicians in the country. They never won until he died. May his soul rest in peace. Reason being is you need to look at your failure. Right now, people who are rerunning for offices, they are looking at their failures. Somebody has already figured out what caused them to fail. They already got in place a new strategy how to overcome those obstacles that cause them to fail. So when Mr. Toy say he don't want to get into that, no, Sedition, you need to demand why. You need a post-election autopsy report. Why did we fail? And how can we fix everything that we saw or that is now known to us as failure? All right. One of the failure there, look at the crowd over there today. Do you think that used to be CDC crowd back in the days? Let's look at 5, 6, 7 years ago. Do you think that CDC crowd over there? Well, the motivation has already caused the party to lose a lot of people. That's one of the failures. So if you don't want to address how we can increase the crowd size and bring in more members back, and you say you don't want to discuss that, those few Scottington staff will be the one that will go to election and you end up losing. So you got to build that visual mind, that visual mapping system in your head and look at the whole thing from the length, the width, the height, in order for you to gain yourself. So I differ with that. I know some of you guys who are sedition, you would disagree with me, but this is what I do. And you know, I am a guy who improves processes. I am a guy who evaluates behavior, who evaluates program, policy, and make sure that whatever mistake we found, we correct them. All right, we correct them. But before we correct them, we got to look for the causal factor. We got to look for the contributing factor. And then we got to analyze those things to determine what actually caused this thing. And then we'll begin to put in place corrective measure or preventive measure to not repeat the same behavior. And that's what I see Mr. Toa is trying to do in our speech, but we'll try to fill in that gap here. All right?
Election. So, less than one SKD. The capacity of SKD is 20,000. 70,000 people. Less than the full capacity. Separate us from power today. Separate the unity party. So no party in this country has legitimate mandate overriding to witch hunt a powerful movement like the CDC. You do so at your own Let's start this for tomorrow. So yeah.
I got to go Monday.
On tomorrow, we will show the Liberian people that the 6 years of the CDC administration were productive, constructive 6 years of improved governance. We don't need to show them because you already know it now.
So the good thing here is that's a positive point there. The statement he just made is good. When he said, well, we'll show them because we already experienced it, that's a plus. So if you're looking at the failure, or if you're doing the failure analysis or the post-election defeat analysis, those are some of the plus that you put into the strength. And, you know, we have a strength where we can now tell you guys what to do because they failed before. Some of them I knew we can teach them. So that's a plus. So I don't see the reason why he don't want to talk about the failure. I'm not saying you should talk about the failure before you guys, but give the guy the assurance that, hey, the reason we love the election, we're going to go deeper into that. And we're going to create some strategy after we discover those things. So let it be to the back of the mind that there will be some type of investigation, and, you know, so that they can determine what caused their defeat. And that way you'll be teaching them too that failure is not the end of a journey. Failure is just a missed opportunity that we're giving lesser attention than what you should have given it to begin with. And that way they will fill in that gap that only no stone unturned. Just because it looks like a turn, it doesn't mean that a turn or the boats are in there. So that's some of the reason why you have to carry on the failure more. But he talked about the positive, that's good. So let's see here.
What we have told this country after O'Neill's departure. The free flows that were happening here were not happening after 2018. More than 200 million to 250 million were freely flowing in this country to support our macro economy. The Unity Party government of that time depended on that.
So these are some of the commentary after the news. All right. You see what Mr. Toa is saying when these things were happening right before their eyes. Rather than saying Papu, you strong, they should have been discussing this thing through town hall, on the radio, getting a lot of people all around promoting these things. But now you are not in power. Now you come to talk about this thing. That is what we call commentary after the news. The damage has already been done. Why are you coming with a result? And why are you coming with a result? So I find it very insignificant right now. But for the sake of the conversation, we're meeting that here. All right. So let's continue here.
NGOs were all over the country giving jobs because of our crisis situation, not because of any particular innovation or productivity of the Unity Party. All of that ended with the ascendancy of George Weah and with the decline of international aid. Because economic conditions became tough in the first year and a half, the propaganda seized on the reader, and because George Weah was the first social media president, the first president who was subjected to the whims, the caprices, and the vagaries of social media in the history of Liberia, people took advantage, and because of the vulnerability and the fact that many of our people are not sophisticated, they used the combination of propaganda to barrage the Liberian people that it is George Weah who is causing hardship in the country, who caused the NGOs to leave this country.
But okay, so let me hold you guys right there, right? So I enjoy the conversation Mr. Tua is having, but the fire is whatever Mr. Tua is explaining, we're not hearing. You and I saw it. We saw the propaganda that was being put out there. We saw it, right? The only thing that CDC did not do, because CDC and the official also saw those things that Mr. Tua is not describing. Just how you and I saw it, we heard it. CDC had the same opportunity of seeing it too. They heard it, but they did not react to that. They did not put in a strategy plan. So to me, again, that is another reason they need to have the investigation. Because he said, oh, John, we are left. Okay, how long and why you think people need to understand? When people are in doubt, you have to educate them. When people have questions, you have to answer the question, because the question will be used as a leverage for that person awareness, because they already got the answer, and that answer will be part of their reason why their decision in the future will make a great difference. So whatever Mr. Tua is explaining here, unless you were born after the election and after George Weah 6 years, then you will not know exactly what happened in Liberia. And secondly, perhaps you were on the planet, you never care about Liberian politics, you never pay attention to it, and it's not at your fault. But I'm sure that many of you guys watching here today, whatever Mr. Tua just mentioned about how people came with propaganda, they said this, they said that. If you are on a team and somebody saying negative thing about the team and you know what you're doing, you have to come out and start to strategize things and try to socialize what you are doing for the people. They never did. So let's continue to look in there again.
Who caused investments not to come, investors to leave. You put CDC in power, you made a mistake. This is what has haunted us up to this day.
So true, so true.
And so there is that slim minority of Liberians, maybe 30,000, maybe 50,000. Some of them in Bond County, you lost, they lost the NGO jobs. Some of them lost the jobs in 2016. They have now been able to find work. These people say, listen, I had work when Unity Party was in power. All that explanation you gave me about unbelieving. I want to see when they come back to power whether I will have my work. If I don't have my work, then maybe you are right. God said, listen, George, we have stepped down. Let these people be the
I tend to differ with that a little bit. I don't think God can create an opportunity for failure. I just think if man don't listen to God, that when opportunity present itself as a failure. All right, because in the Bible, when Jonah, I think they just talk about Jonah in one of the newspapers over the course of last week. When Jonah decided not to follow God's instruction, he failed to take God's instruction according to the Bible, and then he was forced to be swallowed by something else that took him there, right? Yes. So I tend to, respectfully disagree with my comrade, and, to say that, oh, because of what has happened, God decided to take Mr. Weah out of office. No. The question here is, if Minister Tua recognized that people who work in the NGO were now working during the Weah time, he's not giving you an explanation as to what CDC was doing to get these people back to a job? Did they put these people into vocational school to retrain them and give them different tools and skills? He's not telling all these things. Did they reach out to these people and say, hey, instead of you having a permanent NGO job, we can provide temporary job for you guys just to make sure that you guys can get food on the table for your family? Did we try? I'm not hearing Minister Toy mentioning these things. But do you blame the guy who sat down since 2016, you have a 6-year government in power for 6 years and did nothing to help the guy find a job? And then what you think Toy say, let go, put we are done? No. I will kind of reverse that conversation right there. The question here is, what did the CDC government do when they realized that these people were not in power? What did they do? That's the question that we need to ask them. Because if you understand that question and you ask CDC, then the former minister will not come to say the kind of thing. Because the fact that you recognize something, you recognize that the people say they've been out of job for since 2016. All right, granted. Now that you know their problem, what did you do to address their problem? Did you just turn the other cheek? Did you just close your eyes? If you did none of those things by not reaching out to these people, then why would it be God intervention? I think your failure to not reach out to these people, that is why God came out and said, you know what? I have to give the people a second chance. And it shouldn't be something that CDC should take pride in, to be honest with you guys. And CDC, I'm just being real here tonight, okay?
Since you are the first 6 years after UNGA, all the development you have done in record time, all the market development you have stabilized, there are still people who believe that something could be better if you were not in power and that you are responsible for their hardship. I want you to step down. They will take the second 6 years, and the Liberian people will look at the first 6 years and the second 6 years and say, we wrongfully, disappointingly rejected CDC for nothing. Because everything CDC did in the 6 years was honesty. The government, the president told us the truth. The Unity Party campaigned with rhetoric and lied to us. And now in 9 months they are not able to deliver on the lies. The veteran Isaac Doe always says on school, you can lie your way to power, but you cannot lie your way to power. So on Monday, we'll tell the Liberian people and the international community about the statistics in 9 months.
You know, the interesting thing about this year, so I'm listening to Minister Tour trying to commend Acid Jackson, all right? I think it's the guy who served in the government. I think that the Acid Jackson guy, or maybe the Liberal Benjamin Button, I don't know which one he's talking about. Did he say Acid Jackson or Acid Doe? Let me go back again and hear what he actually mentioned. Did he say Acid Jackson? Let me listen to that because I want to make a point.
Doe always says on school, you can lie the CDC for nothing. Because everything CDC did in the 6 years was honesty. The government, the president told us the truth. The Unity Party campaigned with rhetoric and lied to us. And now in 9 months they are not able to deliver on the lies. The veteran Isaac Doe always says on school.
All right, so he mentioned about Acid Doe, right? So let's try to talk about the Acid Doe a little bit here. And this is where conflict of interest come into play sometime. This Acid Doe guy, as we all remember, he left Liberia and was sitting out in Minnesota and became very unproductive. When he was asked on Spoon, what are you doing in the United States when you are one of the deputy minister? I believe it was the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And then he said, oh, I'm working remote. How realistic that is when you are living outside of your country or place of work. And then you say you're working remotely. Now you're working globally. How realistic is that? All right, how realistic is that? How realistic is that? So I find that to be a conflict of interest when Minister Tuel want to comment as though himself contributed to the unproductive behavior of CDC, because this man left Liberia and sat down in Minnesota, and his action and behavior actually resuscitated some Liberians that were not happy, because they know, number one, Doe was getting paid while sitting there in the US and not doing his job. And then to top it off, he told the people, oh, I'm working remote. Liberians are not stupid. So I don't know what Minister Tuel taking out other thing from here. But I just want to put that into context.
You can lie your way to power. Yeah. But you cannot lie your way to power. So on Monday, you will tell the Liberian people and the international community about the statistics in 9 months of the CDC administration. At this time, the community was fulfilled. At this time, we're preparing to launch our development plan.
All right, those ones are all true. That one I got to give it to Mr. Tuel. All right. In 2018, around this time, almost into October, the CDC proposed the PAPD was already at the verge of being given to George Weah. But when you look at the Boakai administration, absolutely nothing they had done. They are not finally structured their path as to where they want to go. They are not delineated any situation they're facing themselves with, because they don't know where to start. So that one, I will give it to Minister Tuel. Unless you are not tracking and trending how CDC performed in their first year. The community role became a reality. People were happy about it. It got completed. By October of that year, the PAPD plan to support the 8 pillars, it was already drafted to meet the Liberia 2030 vision. Up to today, Mr. Boakai has not done so. So this one, I got to give it to the CDC government. They will work very hard. But let's find out why they work hard, because Minister Tuel has something to say, and apparently Unity Party can learn from that. Let's listen out here.
They are still looking for consultants to write the development plan.
All right. So does that mean that CDC had a consultant that wrote their plan? Because he who understands something know how it was done. So when Minister Tuel said they are still looking for consultant, did the CDC also got some consultant and brought them into her? That's fine. Like I often say, I always like to consult. There's nothing wrong with you bringing consultant. Even in Washington, D.C., there are many consultants that work for the federal government, and even at the state level, they are consultants. And the reason you hire these people, because you're not going to overburden your budget. Some of them not on insurance, they're not getting some benefit. You're giving them straight pay, and they will go out there and find their own investment, whether it is retirement fund, whether it is insurance, they will go out there. All right. So there's nothing wrong with Unity Party finding a consultant to get things done for them. Bottom line, the people need their deliverable from the promises you made. If you start to prolong and drag, you are only going to increase the frustration of the people, and that incremental frustration going to start to see CDC lifting up back again. And then that can cause you guys another, defeat. So let's listen to him.
You can see clearly. Let me tell you, they do not have the capacity to deliver in this country.
No way.
Because you see, We are the masters of the post-unmail economy. We understand, CDC, technocrats, understand what it takes to take a country without unmail all international people, to use domestic revenue, to raise domestic revenue by 3% of GDP.
I think that one too, he has a point there too. And he has a point there because the coming to power of George Weah, it was a very critical and turning point for Liberia. Because all the luxury that Ellen had in terms of the Unimill and all the other NGO support that Ellen had, when Mr. Weah came to office, all the things were gone. Not even Facebook Live, Ellen enjoyed. Ellen did not enjoy Facebook Live. Facebook was just there. People were using the text screen to voice their opinion. In the case of George Weah, that was totally different. So let's listen to here. And then after here, we got another one. And then the last one will be the icing on the cake. So let's continue here.
And more than $150 million when domestic revenue was so low. We as the government, we were the ones who understand all of that. When the Liberian people move us from power, you are bringing in technocrats who do not understand how to work for their own money. Technocrats who depend on international flows. It will take them 3 years to understand what we already understand.
So, by the way, guys, where all the energy coming from now? Why didn't we see the energy during the election? I mean, what happened? Were they completely, exhausted? And, we call that one power fatigue. I mean, the CDC, in the last minute of time, the CDC suffered from power and fatigue. And so now you can get fatigue of everything. You can get stress fatigue. You can get hunger fatigue. So the question is, the CDC suffer power or energy fatigue? Because the energy, I see Mr. Toy promoting out here, if they were promoting this thing, I think it would have been a different game today. But again, I would also say maybe they suffer from power fatigue. Maybe they enjoyed the power so much that they got so tired of it and it became a power fatigue. And so I mean, I'm just putting the question out there.
Because to distract from all of this, they go into a witch hunting to see the arrest, illegal and illegitimate arrest of government officials. Let me tell you, if I do wrong, I want to be arrested legally. I want to be arrested legitimately. I'm not afraid of justice if I do wrong. I love my country. I will not flee justice. No. That is if I do wrong. But what they're trying to do is to know that I haven't done wrong. What they're interested in is not my prosecution. What they're interested in is an imagery, an optical imagery of Samuel Toy in Hancock to present to their base and say, we told you we're going to fight corruption. We got that man who you have been targeting for the faith.
Hey, guys, y'all got to give me that one now. Y'all got to give me that one, folks. Y'all got to give me that one. The thing he just said, guys, y'all got to give me that one, right? Come on here. Let me call names there. Monyu, LRB, Gayu, and every one of you guys there. Y'all got to give me that one. We said on our platform here that one of the strategy of the Unity Party is to dehumanize and humiliate CDC public officials. Y'all heard me saying those things here today, right? I mean, on many occasions on the platform that they were planning to do all these things. So yes, so I think you guys will give it to me on that one there, and you guys shoot, because we said it in the past that it was part of the plan, that they were trying to humiliate the CDC guys in order for them to prove to the people that they're fighting corruption, and because they do not have a plan, guys. You guys know that, right? Yes, you guys do know that. So let's get back to the video again and see. Thank you very much, Brother Moyu. In that
all kinds of lies on him. Some of the guy in Hancock. Even though we're not able to win a case against him, at least you can run on social media with a Hancock, and that is our victory.
Exactly. We did talk about that here. We did talk about that. Thank you very much to Emmanuel. We did talk about that, and we have that video because we said they were planning to do these things, and I'm glad that Mr. Toy is coming on to now say those things so that sedition. You see, guys, that's why it's good to be on the platform, because we say everything that we have to offer or present, because we know that when the appropriate time comes, we feel good about ourselves that we said it before, and we say we said it or we told you that. All right. So let's try to finish it all quickly.
So I hear people say they wanted to arrest, they should have arrested me. Let me tell you, the moment I arrived on RIA, I was prepared to present myself to handcuff because that would have been an illegal, illegitimate arrest. What I'm afraid of, I told you, is not legal arrest. It's illegal arrest. If I show to the Liberian people that I'm only being arrested for optical reasons, the Liberian people will believe that my whole case is a politically brutal case. But if I'm arrested legally, I don't have an argument against the Liberian people.
And that is true. And also too, I really want to commend the Unity Party people, because you got to be very careful in the kind of thing here. It's one thing to say the person is, accused of this crime and the person is coming, but it is a big mistake to go arrest a person. If you arrest that person and did not get that person due process, you kind of elevating the support of that person that will transfer that energy to the party base. So that was the right thing they did. They allowed the guy to come in, never arrested him, and he went to the court and came back. It kind of lowered the morale. But in case they were going to arrest that guy, it was going to blow up. The whole crowd was going to start swelling up, and that energy was going to be transferred to the CDC party, because people will see that, as he regularly said, a witch hunt. But I'm glad that those who came up with that idea and said, let the man come in, don't bother the man. Thank God to that person. If Boakai did not listen to somebody, he better try to listen to that person, because that was a very smart move that person made over there. Yes, that was a very, very smart move that person made. Yes, all right. So we are going to now move on to something else. And this one, we're not going to play the whole length. I just want you to grab some concept here. All right. I just want to grab some concept here. But before we do that, there is this very chilling and very sad video. And guys, I just want to, caution you guys right now. If you don't have a strong heart, I will respectfully ask you to look away. All right. Look away. Take a step back for 5 minutes and come back. If you want to actually see what people are experiencing in our country under the Boakai administration, then of course I will ask that you stay here, but just have a brave heart, man it up, and be the woman you can be, and be able to see what I'm about to show you guys here. All right. Very sad situation, but we have to be able to show our people what is actually happening in our country, so that we can better understand what is at stake in our country. So I'll follow delay. Let me try to upload this thing right now here. All right. So again, be warned. This is very sad. And here is it. So as you can see from the video, this is how our children, the future leader, the 2065 generation, this is what they are experiencing in our country. This is what they're experiencing. And this is not a voice-over video. The voices you're hearing are children who live in Grand Bassa County under the leadership or the Senate leadership and the Senate Pro Tem or Nomli Kanga, who is from that area. We have senators that are from that area. We got representatives from that district. But this is what the kids are experiencing.
Over 70 students in this one class.
Can you imagine 70 students in one classroom? How many teachers can take care of that? 70 students. If you take the class by 20 students, because some classroom will say 20 students to teacher with a helper, but this is 3 times that number, because it's 70. Do you think the learning atmosphere will give any positive result for the kids? But folks, normally Kanga children don't go to the school. All right? Normally Kanga children don't go to the school. Yeah, they don't attend the school. Yes. All right? Normally Kanga children don't attend the school. They live somewhere else. And they don't attend the school. They live in a very good environment. But that's what we have. This is the reality right there. That is the reality. This is the future that the people are just messing with, playing with. These kids are the 2065 young people. Will they be able to compete with their fellow African in 2065 come, looking at the environment they find themselves in? Nobody cares. People are in Morovia fighting over political rights rather than the future of the country. That's what they're doing. So I just thought I wanted to share with you guys. We'll look at that more tomorrow. All right, we'll look at that more tomorrow and see what we can do with that. So let's come to the quick video here. All right, let's come to the quick video. All right, this guy, I don't know why I brought this thing up, but the guy made some very silly and stupid point. So I just want us to just listen to him a little bit, and then from there we'll move on to the next video. All right.
Then we will move into the purpose.
So there's the guy right here. All right. I don't know what he's about to say, but let's listen to him here.
DSTV, any day, any hour, any place. And I think DSTV recognizes my capabilities and my ability. And I don't think.
You see, one thing about this guy is all over the place. He has no map vision in his head. He hasn't come out to actually give you a vision of what you want to see LBS to be. He got no clue, but he just going here, picking force here and there. Now he's around DSTV. I mean, one of the weird things he said, according to what I listened to, this guy is saying the LBS went to DSTV, a private owned, satellite company, and is demanding a specific channel. I mean, why would you go to somebody for help and then you want to demand specific, or space on the person channel? You're not even saying, look, we need to partner with you wherever you can plug us there. But he demanding that DSTV provide him that space. I mean, what kind of country that we just put people into power that are not qualified? This guy, I'm not going to discuss him because he is nothing but a disgusted individual that don't really understand anything. So as a disgusted individual, there's no reason I need to discuss him because he is nothing but a disgusted individual who is not qualified but disqualified for this position. He only got there because of political influence. So therefore, I'm not going to waste my time. And I hope that you guys will agree with me because time is very treasure. We have to make the best out of it and not the worst out of a guy who don't really understand what he wants to do, but just go around and try to pick on people that make no sense to him. But we continue to monitor the situation and see what will come out of it. All right. So let's move on here. All right. Now, excuse me there. Before we get to the other video, I see Moyu here laughing here. All right. All right. Before we get to the video, I wanted to show you guys a few PowerPoint. No, I want to show you guys a few PowerPoints here. All right. So here is the PowerPoint here. So this is the video that you saw. This is Joseph Boakai here. Yes, this is Joseph Boakai right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to show you the guy this video here. The president of the Republic of Liberia came to the United States. That other clown you just listened to who tried to go after DSTV, he is the managing director or director of LBS. They are responsible to inform the Liberian populace or the public about happening within the country, whether it is through video with Action News on site or with news over the radio. Now, why when Boakai was traveling to the United States, why the OBS, that we call the OSA broadcast crew, All right. Why the OBS did not come with Joe Boakai to bring their tools and begin to follow Joe Boakai. But look what you guys got to show. You see people with cell phones in their hands. They are talking to a president of our country. And all you can see is nothing but cell phones. This is so embarrassing. So this is my man right here, Clarence Jackson right here. This guy here, as you see, he will be in there. Very, very embarrassing. These are things that they do outside and they go to the pull back. So all these people you see here, they are customized journalists. These people were customized by Joe Boakai press team. They handpick these people and they macro-manage them. And that's why you see Boakai is having a major press conference or a press briefing about his interaction. And all you can see is cell phone journalists. And you think we're going to believe the crap? Now you see why questions were not asked that you were expecting to be asked. Because they customized this thing. They told the guy then, here are questions you're supposed to ask. Do not ask the other question. And we'll go into that. All right. Now, if you recall, this is Junior Jet. Junior Jet in 2013 had the opportunity to travel with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. This interview, I'm trying to find the video, but the interview was so tense that from that day forward, they decided not to bring Junior Jet because Junior Jet asked questions that were completely aligning with the public view, but it did not subscribe to the party, so they got a little bit upset with Junior Jet. But here is a little transcript here. As you can see to the back of this, if you take a good look, ladies and gentlemen, look the little type or the sticker on the back of Junior Jet's laptop. If you look closely to the very top where it says FC 101 or 0.1 FM, you will also see Radio LRB. That was Radio LRB where we used to be as member of the panel. So look on the back of the laptop, you will see Radio LRB. That's something that I'm proud of today because back in 2013, we were on top of our game that time. And so we were part of this conversation. I'm trying to find that video. By the way, let's move on to the next video here. All right. But before we get there, so Junior Jet in 2021 kind of went back, all right, to the wonderful interview. And this is what he wrote. Let me just try to read it for you guys. So from 2013, because that video was 2013, this video down, the image down here was from 2013. So come later on in the year, as you can see it up here. So it was on that anniversary. And Mr. Jet wrote, on today, 8 years ago, that was 2013, because he wrote it in 2021. A year ago, I became one of the few Liberian journalists to do an exclusive interview with President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf at the United Nations headquarters in New York City, USA. All right. I was a rookie at that time. Well, he didn't look like a rookie to me that time because he could handle himself well. All right. Reventing interview, all right, brought up the famous the opposition. So he's saying the way he structured the interview, it came out of, something came out of that, and it was called opposition. The opposition have their heads buried in the sand from there, the president. Thanks to former Foreign Minister Augustin Gafuan. All right, I'm not going to pronounce his last name there. former Information Minister, Mr. Louis Brown, and former presidential spokesman, Jeremy Pia. That's the same guy who working. So as you can see, all these guys work for Ellen in the back in the Boakai administration. So what I'm trying to say is this interview, guys, I will try to find the video. And if I do find the video, you will get to hear the question that Julia J was asking Ellen. All right, let me try to do something here quickly here. You will find the question that Julia J was asking Ellen at that time. It was so unique. All right, it was so unique that people admire Julius, and that from where Julius started to, and take off with his career, because Julius just asked question that Smith Toby, this guy did not ask Clarence Jackson. This guy right here. This guy, in my opinion, when you look at the picture, this guy had been consumed already. Yes, this guy, Clarence Jackson, he has been consumed already. Those guy brought him to America here, they wrapped his head under their armpit, did something to him. I don't know whether he's going to be the same again. I don't know. But the way he conducted himself over the few days they were in the U.S., it kind of make me to degrade his integrity from high to medium. He can still come back. But look at the environment. Do you see any independent journalist in that photo that will be asking Joe Boakai? So let us go back now to the video. Some of you guys already watched the video, but it is my time, and to analyze the video. So it is my time now to analyze the video. But let me just present few sentences that you guys have put up here. All right. So we are about to analyze our last video. All right, because I want to make sure that we get out of here right on the top of the hour, or maybe 15 minutes after the top of the hour. But this is our grand finale video here of the night. And it's going to be nothing else but the very picture you see here. We are now going to transfer, or we are going to transform this picture you see here into a motion, into action, and it's going to start right now.
But before the launching,
so as you can see, the photo we just show you here is the video for it. We have our contact within Joe Boakai administration that can send all the photos here. So don't ask me how I got it, because if I tell you, then we'll not get it anymore. So the picture you see here, this is the video for it here. Somebody was capturing them while they were doing the interview here. So let's continue. But before we go there, oh my goodness, I forgot about something. Guys, please forgive me. All right? Please forgive me. I want to show you guys something. All right? Let me get something quickly for you guys. You know why? I know I got an idea. Let me hold on to what I want to show you guys, because we have evidence in the interview. And then once that evidence reaches that point of the interview, now when I will go and bring the proof. All right. We got a suspect, rather. We have a suspect in this group. The people you see sitting down here, one guy among them is a suspect. We have seen him before. No, we have heard him before, but we're going to see him in this other video, aside from the photo. And then we'll go and fact check him. So let's get back and listen to Joe Boakai here, okay? Let's check back and listen to Joe Boakai here right now, right at this time here. Let's check back and listen to Joe Boakai right now. So where is that video? All right.
So a lot of lobbying has been done already.
Membership on the United Nations Security Council, Your Excellency, what could you do beyond that? Because we're understanding that the elections will be in June of next year. What will you do beyond that to ensure that Liberia actually grabs a seat? Because it's like everybody's yearning for a history tells us that since 1961 we have never been there.
Well, this is launching, but before the launching, a lot of lobbying has been done already. So many letters I've signed to a lot, I mean, almost all of those who should be taking part in the
I mean, God, let me ask you guys a question. What's up with the papi putting pen in his pocket like this? I mean, they kind of thing present a very old image. We are in the 21st century. The old men still dressing the people in the 60s. Got all the bunch of pens and all in his pocket. I mean, be the face of the country, man. Be the face of the young. You got all the pen in your pocket. I mean, those are things that his father they used to do. You into the real, he's sitting there with so pen. What the hell is that? And, you know, I mean, look, guys, let's continue here, man. Let's continue here.
voting, and followed by telephone calls and meeting people, like making their commitment, like at a place there, the president of Ghana and the different presidents were committing, some of them were leaving. So we will continue to work to remind them, but we are very optimistic.
Yes, Your Excellency, this is your first meeting at the UNGA. How Liberians can take this information and resonate back home to our people as your first UNGA message?
Say the first, I didn't hear that.
I mean, this is your first General Assembly.
There you go there. He doesn't have that. He can't hear good. He cannot hear good. The papi got some hearing losses. And, you know, he can't hear good. So the guy got to repeat the question again. All right. So he needs some type of ear aid. This guy, he needs some kind of ear aid. And, you know, or maybe getting his speaker, put in his ear and be asking him a question. I mean, earphone.
With your speech, Liberians back home, some taking it in a very good faith, some taking the bad faith. What strong message you send?
Well, anybody who is patriotic Liberian should know that this is a very, very successful one. As a matter of fact.
Oh, so Joe Boakai is telling that you got to be patriotic to accept that, and, you know, in fact, let me just get to my stuff here. So Joe Boakai is telling the guy who asked the question, well, those who feel that the meeting did not go too good, they are not patriotic. So Joe Boakai is saying to you that, oh, if you dissatisfy with what he said, then you are unpatriotic. If you accept a failure as you see it being a poor performance, but you accept it as something that is a success, then you are patriotic Liberian. They old man ain't got no goddamn shit. To can't be talking the kind of bull crap here. Let's continue to listen to here, folks. Let's continue to listen to here.
You're right. As president of the country, it's my first one, but I'm not very, very new to being here. But
all right, so Joe Boakai now is talking about his past experience or his past life in public service. So he prides himself now, oh no, you know what, first president, I mean, as president coming to the UNA, I mean the UNAG for the first time. Yeah, and you know, I'm a rookie in the president position, however, I've been in so time. Okay, let's take that as a face value. What about what you did when you were in different position? Maybe managing director of LPRC, you saw that he got fired from that position. He got fired from being the Minister of Agriculture. He doesn't talk about those things because he got a very bad record. So he wouldn't stick to this kind of thing. That's who Joe Boakai is. So let's continue listening to him here again.
I think this is to put Liberia back strongly on the map, to show the people that we are ready for business. We had a lot of side events speaking.
So by Liberia getting a non-member seat, that means that they are ready for business. Is that the only thing Joe Boakai can say to the Liberian people? That, oh, we are getting ready to do business, but our business will be very flourishing if we decide to get on a UN or veto committee or whatever that committee is. That's why Joe Boakai started trying to tell you here. For me, I just think the old man, he actually failed at the UN. He did not deliver anything at all. Yeah, he did not deliver anything.
On the street children issue, speaking on the future of the young people, speaking on issues of peace, and I mean, we have been able to do much, much more to make sure that people know that Liberia is ready for business, that Liberia stand with the world for the betterment of the world. So I will want to say to Liberians, there's every reason for us to be proud of our country and to know that we are now ready for business.
Mr. President, the Security Council is a 15-member state institution. 5 are permanent members and 10 are non-permanent. We are opting for a seat as a non-permanent member. You want to explain the significance of that?
Well, I think we even, especially in Liberia, we have played a very, very important role as the founders of the UN. And the fact that we are there, we can help to serve as mentors and to be able to help to make decisions.
Hey, Papi, you want to tell me what the Papi is saying? Do you truly believe what Joe Boakai is saying? That Liberia want to be in our role to serve as mentor? Guys, let's be real here. Some of you guys are going to church tomorrow. If not already in church. Which country within our United Nations that Liberia can be a mentor to? For me, there is none. Liberia need more catering to than she becoming a mentor. What man that Joe Boakai and his administration would do to mentor anybody? Nothing. Look, that 1960 seat we got. Let me tell you how we got our seat. In the 60s, many countries in Africa were still under colonial rules. So it was very impossible for them to have a say at the United Nations because they were still fighting for independence. Liberia at that time had just helped Israel in the early 50s, I believe, to get a powerful seat within the UN as a country. And that seat that was given to Angie Brooks, it was just a thank you for helping us, Liberia. That one of the reasons why, since Liberia lost that seat, their term came to an end, she hasn't gotten it yet. There are criteria that are set for any nation to meet and get it. It's going to be difficult for Liberia to get it. It's going to be very, very difficult. So the 2026, 2027 that Boakai is talking about is going to be difficult because they're also going to have the 2025, 2026, which I believe will be coming up sometime next year. There are countries that are competing for that position. I think Ghana was just in that position. I think right now it's out of Zimbabwe in that position. So Liberia, some of the pre-requirement in order for Liberia to get that position, we'll try to discuss that tomorrow because I don't want to overburden you guys here. But there are a lot of things that Liberia need to fix. And when I saw the requirement, it kind of resembled what George Weah was talking about in terms of what happened. All right, so let's try to wrap it up here.
That are consistent with the UN Charter, and also to show the people, showcase Liberia that we can assume leadership and that we can help to bring about peace in the world. We can be a part of solutions. We've been part of some problems in the past, but that we are ready to be part of solutions. So it's to give Liberia a stand in the world, and that's what I mean.
So lastly from my end, Mr. President, former President.
This guy right here, I want you to listen to the guy's voice, and we're going to think this guy is the suspicious guy that we are looking at. All right. Now, before we go to listen to him, look at this girl here. You see this girl? She is actually enjoying her cell phone coverage. So that cell phone, you see the cell phone across the guy's face here. They don't want to bring anybody outside from the other side of true journalism. But let's listen to this guy. I want you to listen to the guy's voice because this guy, we will bring another video and I will ask you whether indeed it is the voice of this guy. All right. So Let's listen up.
Johnson Sirleaf also agreed to this occasion. Liberians back home were so excited to see two of the presidents, together one for one country.
Well, sure. This is not the first time that he and I have been together, and we're very proud that she could come all the way to support us. I mean, it's a show of real patriotism, and we believe that we can demonstrate to the world even more vividly that our country is an example of a country in which two leaders, one former, one president, can stand together to promote their country. It's a very, very good message to the world and a good message to our country too.
Finally, from me, Mr. President, on Saturday of last week, you had a town hall meeting with Liberians in Staten Island. As you leave the United States, any message for Liberians here?
I think that was a very impressive meeting. I have been to Staten Island in a very school building. At that time, it was when Aurelia Curtis was principal, and at that time was to the student. But that trip there, and the number of Liberians I saw, and the way they expressed their joy, I think for me it was the beginning of our effort to lay out a foundation for a diaspora contact, because these are Liberians and they represent us here. And so the message was very strong, the attendance was very encouraging. It's the beginning of our engagement of the diaspora, and that's where we will.
All right, so this is the reason why I am disappointed in this guy. One of the reasons why I'm disappointed in this guy, prior to coming to the United States with Boakai, every time he comes on his show, he will be firing the Boakai administration. Meanwhile, you gotta listen to Clarence Jackson. Whenever he came on, he will come, Mr. Boakai, Mr. President, we can do this, we can do that. The people did this for you, the people did that for you. But when you listen to Clarence Jackson, asking though, leading the witness question, asking though, ferreting question, the last question he asked, and then the guy who was going to check on his voice, Johnson Sirleaf and Boakai from the same Unity Party, right? So let me ask you guys this question. Here. All right. Let's blow up this guy a little bit here. All right. So Clarence Jackson, this is the guy who always acting tough, which I really appreciate, because he tried to bring some balance to the conversation on his show. But this gun interview, he actually blew it. And you know how? The guy who said, how do you feel, Mr. President, to see former President Johnson Sirleaf teaming up with you? What about saying to Boakai, Mr. Boakai, yes, President Weah wrote a letter to you. President Weah wrote a letter to you. What is your position about that letter? Former President Weah wrote a letter to you. Now, guys, when we talk about check and balances in our democracy, we have to be able to present questions. I remember during the wartime, there used to be a famous guy on BBC. They used to call him Robin White. When that BBC come up, that guy will be asking questions that even people that listen, they say, hey, that question correct. Because that guy was so professional that he will ask questions that you who listen to that interview, you wish you were there to ask that question. But guess what? The way and shape he used to present no question. Many Liberians used to just go into that kind of reactionary mode. Yes, you get it. Then they're ready to listen. This guy they call Clarence Jackson. George Weah is former president. Ellen Johnson is former president. George Weah came out and said to Boakai, in order for me to give you my support, there are things that you need to take care of. So what was so difficult? What was so hard for the journalists, those guys you saw sitting out over there, these guys in here? What was so difficult for these guys that you see here? All these guys. What was so difficult that one of the guys couldn't get and say, Mr. President, do you have anything to say about President Weah letter that was published on Front Page Africa, where he said there are things that your administration is doing that are creating instability in the country. For example, police going into the community, police attacking the party headquarters. What have you to say in regards to that? Why? Because we out here, we are not all United Partisan, and not everyone is CDC partisan. We do have independent-minded people. We want to hear what Boakai has to say about Weah letter, because we are all read Weah letter. But these guys, under the command of this girl, they decided to squash off that information. And that is where Clarence Jackson really let himself down, because Clarence that we know is always asking the tough question in his studio. He's always challenging the Boakai administration. And there is no way that when they mention Eddie Johnson Sirleaf, you want to tell me that oh God, why did not say, oh, President Weah is also a former president. Let me ask the current president as to how he feels about the president not joining him. That was never done. That tells me that Clarence Jackson is not a man of integrity. That's why, from my observation, he is not a high integrity journalist. He has been demoted, degraded to a medium-sized journalist because he's a coward. I don't give a damn about the other people in here. I don't. Saying that, let's go back to that other strange voice. That guy you saw that asking that question. Let's go back, all right, to that guy. Let's go back to him so you can get to see him. Excuse me there. So let's bring out suspicious video, watch it, and we'll be done for the day, all right? So let's go and bring our video. Remember the voice, all right? You remember that guy's voice, right? I want you to tell me whether it is the same guy, the guy who asked the question, whether how Boakai feel about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Listen to the video here and tell me whether it's not the guy's voice. Listen to it. It's coming up. It's coming up. Listen to it.
Good morning, Mr. Vice President.
Good morning.
You look very well this morning.
I'm sure very well. I feel so.
Thank you. So we just want a few seconds with you. Lofa County is playing tomorrow in the finals of the county.
So now I want you to let's do a voice analysis here. Do you think this guy you heard here? Let's go back to the video again. Let's go back to the video here. Let's come back to the video here and bring this guy back here. All right, the very guy voice you heard here. Let's come back here. Let's try to find him. All right, this guy right here. All right.
And former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf also agreed to this occasion.
You hear that voice? Let's go back again. Let's play a little bit again. Let's play a little bit. Tell me if not this guy. We busted the guy now. We know who the guy was now. We know who he is. So let's listen to him again.
The UN Charter, and also to show the people, showcase Liberia, that we can assume leadership and that we can help to bring about peace in the world. We can be a part of solutions. We've been part of some problems in the past, but that we are ready to be part of solutions. So it's to give Liberia a stand in the world, and that's what I mean.
So lastly, from my end, Mr. President, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf also agreed to this occasion. Liberians back home were so excited to see.
All right, so let's go back to the other video. Let's come back to the video here and let's listen to this guy right here. Listen to this guy here.
Any word for your team? Lofa County is playing tomorrow in the finals of the county meet. Any word for your team?
All right, let's go back again. Let's go back again. Let's go back again. Let's go back. Tell me, I want you to tell me what is the same guy here.
President, I mean, together one for one country.
Can assume leadership, and we're very proud that she could come all the way to help to bring about peace in the world. We can
What you guys think?
Solutions.
Yeah, LRB said he sounded like do.
Ready to be part of solution.
Anybody else?
To give Liberia a stand in the world. That's what I mean.
So lastly from my end, Mr. President, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf also agreed to this occasion.
Same voice, right?
Everyone's back home was so excited to see two of.
So this guy is nothing but some kind of ain't no douchebag.
Well, the first thing I can say is that
Lofa County is playing tomorrow in the finals of the county meet. Any word for your team?
Well, the first thing I can say is that success is sure. Nimba people are my people. We're very close, so.
Good morning, Mr. Vice President.
Good morning.
You look very well this morning.
I'm sure very well. I feel so.
Thank you.
I think if you ask me, I think that's the guy. If you ask me.
I mean, together one for one country.
Well, sure.
I was so excited to see two of the presidents.
Liberia has 10.
If you ask me, I think that's the same guy. I think that would be my
Lastly, from
guess.
my end, Mr. President, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf also agreed to this occasion. Everyone's back home was so excited to see two of the presidents. I mean, together one for one country.
If you ask me, I don't know. I see liberal political something here is saying that one is Robert O'Neill. I seen voice here, and he did for you. Somebody seen voice here, but I mean, unless they would be very honest to tell us, but I think that is the same guy. I could be wrong, but if I were to, yeah, somebody says the same dude. Yeah, somebody says the same dude. I think for me, my guess would be that is the same guy. Yes, I think that is the same guy. Yeah, I think that is the same guy. Yes, I think that is the same guy. I don't know who's calling me right now, but I will return the call later. I think that is the same guy if you ask me. That is the same guy, guys. I think that's the same guy. But anyway, guys, I would like to say a big thank you to every one of you guys. Tomorrow, hopefully, I might be here between 6:30 to 7 o'clock because tomorrow morning, I got a lot of stuff to do. So I want to just finish it up. And then by 6:30 to 7, we will be back here. And then we'll come back again broadcasting on the same channel here. We want to try to get used to this now. One of the weaknesses that I have is the process that it takes for me to put video up here and stuff like that. I am lazy, so I need prayer. I'm lazy because I have everything here. All I gotta do is just go in there, put it in there. But I'm very, very lazy to do those things. I think going forward, I will commit myself to making sure that we use this medium because that way we can capture every one of you guys and we see the turnout is growing. So I want to use that chance where we're growing the platform through this thing here and see what we can do in regards to that. All right. Let me try to put the phone here on silent ring so that way you can hear it ringing. So guys, I would like to say thank you so much. Somebody's I'm gonna answer the phone. Who calling? Are you calling? All right, let me see. My man, what are you calling? Let me see it. I'm gonna answer the phone. All right. Hello? Yes. You want them to answer the phone? Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Okay. You want me to put your speaker phone? Do you want me to put your speaker phone? All right, so that's one of the guy here. All right, now listen here. All right, let's see it. All right, guy, hold on. Let me put you on speakerphone. All right, Gerald, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, guys. Gerald said he has answer for that stuff. So Gerald, go ahead. You are listening. You have been listening to.
Okay, let me say good evening to you, Randy. Good, wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Wonderful presentation. I wrote you earlier on talking about your intro with Samuel 12, but you know we can talk that another day.
Yeah.
I think that intro you kind of nail the hammer on. I mean, kind of put the hammer on the nail because you can go back to that kind of history.
Yeah.
And people speaking crew in the back. Trying to portray this thing on ethnicity.
Yeah.
The facts are there.
Yeah.
It just left with the Boakai government to do some good PR, the Justice Ministry to do some nice work, to explain to the Liberian people whether it's witch hunt or not. But let's go back to the last question you asked.
Yeah.
So the last caller, I mean the last presenter is Robert O'Neill.
Okay.
From Truth FM.
Okay.
That voice I know very well.
Okay.
Okay. The other guy
who is live on the screen.
Who voice sound? No, I'm not looking at the screen. But the person who said, "Mr. President,
yeah,
you look okay."
Yeah. Yeah. Who's that?
That's Robert O'Neill.
Okay.
Okay. Then there's a guy with little bass.
Yeah. Who asked the president about how he feel about Ellie joining him?
I think he was news director or something. Wonderful little young man from the news department of OKFM. He was always presenting early morning. Okay. I don't know him that well because they came into the picture.
But did you see the video? The one we just showed, did you see it, or you didn't get to see it?
Wait, let me look at the video. I had to walk away. I don't want, you know, to expect for you to expect.
All right, guys. So just hold on there, guys. Let me just upload the video here. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So I got a guy right here. Can you see it now, Gerald? I'm going to upload it now.
Well, sure. This is not the first time that and I have been together, and we've been part of some problems in the past, but that we are ready to be part of solution. So if
are you there now?
Mentors and to be able to help to make decisions that.
Hey, Gerald, are you there?
I'm here, Randy. Let me just listen.
Yeah, but are you watching the video now?
Yeah, I'm
sure the people will showcase
right.
Liberia.
So I think right after the pop finish talking, the guy will come on.
And that can help to bring about peace in the world. We can be a part of solutions. We've been part of some problems in the past, but that we are ready to be part of solutions. So if to give Liberia a stand in the world, that's what I mean.
So lastly from my end, Mr. President,
all right, Jared, I'm going to freeze it there so you can take a good look at the guy. All right, I'm going to freeze it there. Can you take a look at the guy? You see the guy there now?
Randy, I told you I'm a veteran.
Yeah, don't see, Mr. Veteran. They're going to go for
it. I told you I'm a veteran. I know voices very well. I'm picking Robert O'Neill there.
But then you said the same guy who was asking the papi how you feel that
I was not looking at the video. You are running audio, but that person sitting opposite the president is Robert O'Neill.
So the picture you're looking at, the Robert O'Neill guy here. All right, so let's go back.
There's another video audio you roll.
That
voice is a presenter from OKFM, a fine young gentleman. I know the voices.
All right, well, that's your thought. We'll see how we can split that open. All right, we hope that the guy can come up, but good catch. But for now, we'll see what can be done. Anything else, Gerald? Because I have to let everyone go now. Because
no. I want to say nice presentation. I still following, even though your remaining school fees you don't pay. I'm still waiting for it. I'm still waiting. You know. Sometimes when you introduce somebody to radio and you show them some of the strategy and techniques, and you see them going about doing it, you feel happy. So
yes, sir.
I mean, I have no issue with you.
Thank you.
But you're doing well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, someone like you who really, gave me the guidance to be to where I am playing with these things, and I cannot be grateful whenever I talk to you, but I'm always grateful when I see myself doing these things here. And I just want to appreciate you for your continuous.
Keep for the good work, man. You know, more than 13 years.
Yes.
13 years.
Yes. So. And Jared, before you leave, I want to bring something up. Do you remember that interview with Julia Jett when he came to the US? Because on the back of that, he how they call it, his laptop, he had Radio LRB down there. Do you remember that interview that he had with Ellen? And that time, I think we discussed it on your show that time, back then.
Yeah.
Do you have that video?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No.
Okay.
But what is the, refresh my memory, what is it?
Well, what we're trying to do here is your man Clarence. I really did not like the way Clarence presented himself, because I was expecting Clarence, this guy is a tough, I won't say tough, but he is a guy who tried to balance things out there. But I was expecting one of them to say, hey, Mr. President, what is your view on George Weah letter? Because this is an opportunity where when you come to the diaspora, Liberians here from both sides of the aisle would like to hear from their leader, but that was never brought up because of how they control the guys they bring to America here. And that was not too good for me, Gerald. I know that you asking the kind of question.
Let me say this. It's different when, for some of them, let's look at the ethics of communication now.
Okay.
It's different when you are part of the president's entourage, you travel with the president, they're bringing you to do some PR.
Okay.
So that interview or the interviewer at the time will not be interviewing Randy on issues that Randy missed out, or some things that somebody said about environmental the environmental issues in the country. Okay, so they will go to something that will sound promotional because I'm part of the president inner cycle.
But don't you see that as an ethical violation?
I have a problem with it.
Good.
I do. I have a problem with it. 2006, I had an opportunity to do some work for President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, for all the cabinet ministers, but it was not to do PR. It was not to do PR. It was for all the public, the cabinet ministers to appear on my program to talk about the government policy, the president's agenda for the coming years. So there were hardcore questions being thrown across. But here is the thing now, Rennie. Whenever you see a journalist who come for the first time, having an opportunity to travel with the president, they want to create an impression that they will not do something that will, maybe the executive mansion may likely not put them on the list of the president. So they want to be in good rapport with the president. But as a journalist, you do not, like Clarence, in his case, he's not working for the executive.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. Yeah, that's my point.
He's not part of the executive mansion press corps. Let's go back to something. Let me refresh your memory on something. Remember when Darius Dillon traveled with Madam Ellen Johnson?
Yeah, that famous picture where he's sitting down behind
her. When he left from there, he became a good friend to Robert Selly.
Yes.
Okay, so now you're grabbing the concept, right?
Yes.
While these journalists will travel with the president and they go back. I know of several of them. Maybe that's just Clara Jackson on your caught. I know many journalists, big ones, small ones, okay, who traveled with the president, when they came back to Monrovia, they changed.
But I'm very worried about Clarence Jackson. You know why? Because Clarence has had the opportunity to interview U.S. diplomat. They trust that station because I think they got some usage support, and based on the transparency, and that's why they keep going there. They don't go to other radio stations. As you know, most of them are 100% on the side of a particular political institution. But with him coming now and the way he portrays himself, I'm a little bit worried and I'm concerned that if he gets back to Liberia, maybe you have the choice to say, you know what, I'm going to be in the middle, and then they will not give him the opportunity to travel again, or he might become consumed by those guys, and then maybe the U.S. diplomat will not trust him again. That's how I'm looking at it, Gerald.
Let me tell you, as a former radio and television manager, I'll say this to you. The contract you have with USAID is a contract. It's not a contract to determine your scope of operation. What you do, your ethical standard, presentation is on you.
Correct.
UNHCR or UNDP, just name it. They have no control over what you do.
But your integrity is also measured by the institution too, right?
Your colleagues like you and other Liberians will be looking and watching you. But really, I will say this to you, right, my brother, and most of the people listening. That's why it's good to follow talk show hosts and watch the level of consistency.
Yeah.
Okay, the pattern of consistency.
Yeah.
In their presentation, in their report, you're watching for consistency.
Yeah.
Because when people get closer to cabinet ministers, I mean, I was blessed to be around a lot of government officials. The last person I worked for, we became very close and too close, was the late Harry Greenwood. As a matter of fact, we're just about to open the biggest radio and television station and newspaper in the country before I left. But watch this one. Not because of my close proximity with him, he had any super control over me. Now, I will also let you know, I worked for Benin Nigeria for almost 8 to 9 years. A radio and television manager. Mr. Yuri was not one day interfering with the radio operation or the report or the presentation of the station. Not at all. Not one day. So it's up to you. You as a journalist, we say what you see on the microphone or before the camera has the propensity to sway the minds of the people to do the right thing or to do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So you got to be resourceful. So even if I was traveling with Randy, and Randy is an environmental specialist, I must do some research to know Randy.
Yeah.
I must understand the subject matter. Even if I'm coming to do a nice PR, I should be careful how I'm doing that PR, because 6 years from now, Randy will not be around.
Yeah.
6 years from now, he will not be around. But most of the guys coming after us, really, poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. The profession is a noble profession. But the sad thing here is that look at 99% of the radio stations in the country. All of them run talk show.
Yeah.
And the talk show is based on politics.
Yeah.
You think a guy like Samuel Tuer will sit with me on Monday as he's, doing all his jargon, his body language. I'm going to spend all night Sunday night looking for everything I can on Samuel Tuer. The missteps, the different news article. It's not going to be a friendly interview.
Yeah.
But you know why he's dancing the way he's dancing? He thinks he's going to meet some journalists who will not go to the hardcore issues.
Yeah, that is we'll have to see.
Selling corn to Ivory Coast. But he braggadociously boasts and said that it's wish horn with so many things. Now, I love the intro you gave. I wrote and said, this is not a 12th Street, 12th Street political jargon. I know that's your good friend. I know if he say he want to go at an equilibrium and appear on all the radio stations, he might likely get caught up in the spider web.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's up to my good friend and brother Clarence, but Rennie is a different ball game, my brother. when you find yourself in that inner circle.
I know. I hear about survivability. Yeah.
You got it. They say he who pays the piper pays the tune.
I know. I heard that so many times, but I never heard it for a long time.
Information minister.
Yeah.
You remember that interview, that famous interview?
Yeah, when he was live with you, he got fired.
Minister, when he got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that tell you that so you uncles, even though we have all the political differences.
I know.
And we can't tell, but I mean, keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
Especially, I enjoy your presentation on the environmental situation. And I know already that's your strength, but
I think we need to have a conversation this week, if you don't mind, this week.
I'll find time if you pay your remaining school fees.
All right. Thank you, Gerald. Have a blessed night. All right, guys. So, guys, that was Gerald. He's one of the guys who really brought me to the scene, and I always have to give him that respect, because without him, I don't think I was going to be to where I am on radio today. So he's always welcome, to reach out to me and have this conversation. So again, I would like to say a big thank you to every one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. May God continue to bless you as we go into the new week. And I think hopefully we'll be going to a new month. Can't believe it, September is done. Wow. But we'll be back here hopefully by God's grace around 6:30 to 7 o'clock. And then we'll carry out the show for the remaining part of tomorrow. So enjoy yourself. Have a pleasant day. If you're about to go to sleep, pleasant night. May God continue to bless you. If you're going to church tomorrow, go with your open heart. Don't listen to the librarian pastor. Look straight into your mind map, and pray to God so that you can get blessing. Thank you guys so much, and bye for now.